there. Chiron stepping in for a little bit. It seemed like it was a, just for now kind of thing. It wasn't like a permanent decision, but still in the same regard, there is, there's a bit of a inherent risk where I don't know what to expect out for this side going forward, right? I feel like for Nine Pandas, they're in a bit of a spot where they're just coasting for now, and we'll kind of see how things play out. Alv, there's rumors about him being on the way out. There's rumors about players like even Artfrost coming in to take his spot, which I think would be a cool pickup. But, Alv, you've got time to prove yourself. Let's see if you can do it now. We're on the way towards Dust 2. It's a CT side start for Nine Pandas. PARIVISION on towards that T side.
Yeah, we're going to see here. This could be bit of a game changer, PARIVISION on this T side. I'm not quite sure where Dust2 sits at the moment, but I feel like it is leaning a little more T-sided.
Sure.
In some of the matchups, at least at the higher level, so we'll see if that is the case here for these boys. But Crad holding along with the Julies. Dangerous fights to be taking, but it's all a bait and switch. The big man that we mentioned, Belachonok, he'll be the first to fall here.
Yeah, that's a big frag to take. Shame. That is a incredible shot to hit, though. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. Still feeling like there is, bits to like about them. But either way, round. Feels a little funky. Oh, my God. It's Alv who will step up on towards Nota. And now with 3 remaining alive, you can see them just feel, a little bit awkward and uncomfortable in kind of the spot they're in. It's a little weird. I think it's kind of the main thing where we're at. But Alv will get 2 more behind it. 1 man left. Kicker seen off. Alv has gone huge. Questions on his name a little bit, but he steps up to the plate and up to bat, and he hits a beautiful home run. 4 kills for him in that round. It's exactly the start you want to see for Nine Pandas, especially with it being their map pick and the doubts around it. That's lovely.
Yeah, I mean, definitely going to have a point to prove this evening for sure. Being that new kid on the block, there might even be, some people on the PARIVISION team that are like, I'm not really sure who this guy is and what he brings, what to expect from him. So, yeah, an explosive start like that is often a very, very good way to get into a game like this as well. Calm some of your nerves against players that, at one point or another he will have been looking up to and learning from. So, yeah, very cool to see, but pistol is a very different beast, is often the problem. It will be a hard eco coming out from PARIVISION, just the one P250 for big man James, so not expecting too much out from this.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're right. This one should be a pretty easy one to dispatch. We'll see, but for the most part, it shouldn't require that much heavy lifting. You'd assume that is, but you never know. Sometimes things can get at least a little funky. Slow roll. They try to bomb plant out of this round. That'd be lovely. That'd give them everything they need internally, but wait, running in. I think they might even get one out here, to be honest. They're sneaking past. I was doing pretty well. I was doing very well, in fact. Maybe I doubt it for no reason. But that bomb is going to go down. They try to deny it, and a jumping Crad. FAMAS will do exactly that. So they do deny in the end.
It's a little bit of a shame. I think if they were a bit more confident on the PARIVISION side, they would have got that plan. But I think they really did not realize how awkward the position looked for Nine Pandas, and then they just sort of hesitate a little bit, give away too many fights. But yeah, even if they'd gone barreling into the site itself and tried to get that plant, they could have squeezed it out, I think. But yeah, they just didn't realize the position they had. So unlucky. A little bit frustrating, maybe. The boost of cash would have been nice here. You see a Galil out, you see not loads of utility. So they've not got too much left here. Fair few smokes, but other than that, it's not looking too good very, very quickly for PARIVISION.
Yeah, honestly, you kind of like what I've been seeing from Nine Pandas. They're just so happy to fight in the early part of this game, which is a really good indicator, I think, as a whole. So far, so good. Swing. A miss from Kicker. Not what he wanted. Crag going to get both as well. First gun round not looking too pretty right now for this PARIVISION side. They're going to contact out towards B. Dillard's looking to hold back sight, but he gets deleted by Travis. That's a blind of a shot, in all fairness. And he somehow gets across. He should have been caught. The flashbang feels like it got everybody. So he's a lucky man indeed. It was a real moment there that could have fallen super, super flat. Travis, Belchinok both doing well. B-site is so difficult to retake, and we're seeing it now. Belchinok swing and a miss from him, though. Back into a 2 versus 2 there. Holding in a pretty mean crossfire. Window player will get out. Alv is unstoppable right now, it seems. But Travis has got ideas. Oh, Travis. That is ridiculous. What a round from him.
Oh, my goodness. What is going on in that round, man? That is just absolute carnage. You know, it looked like a great position for PARIVISION when they got that 3v2.
Yeah.
And then nearly losing it out, and then Travis just hits the most insane. You feel from there, it's like, oh, okay, this guy's done. Yeah, the round's over. The rest of the team lost it. That's unlucky. And then he just pulls it out of nowhere. That is kind of mental.
Wow. Sort of felt like he should have had no right really to win that, but what we'll take is it's a pretty huge one. PARIVISION, they were in a bit of a dire spot, and they will make it stick. So, at least for me, I like that. It's workable. We can start, getting to a point of feeling a bit more confident in them. And, yeah, obviously that was very much up in the air at one point, but beautiful work at that tail end. So, a first on the board for PARIVISION, and yes, it was scrappy, but it's a round that you can work with, I think, more than anything. So they'll be sort of happy within themselves, saying, all right, now we've got to start now we have to start building something on our side. We have to show why we're in this spot, and at least I think for PARIVISION as a whole, they'll be a little nervy, saying, I don't know, I think that's a replicable round, right? We had to really get bailed out by Travis. We've got to go back into our game plan. It's still Alf stepping up. 9-1. He's still alive as he deals more damage as well. He should go down, surely. Stuck in towards Car. He's still alive until that last moment. He's bought time for this rotate to come through, and they don't clear Goose. Miss flash by Resol. That's awkward.
It is a little bit, but ultimately he's doing fine. This is an all-over-the-place kind of round. Once again, the bomb has not gone down, though, is the big thing for PARIVISION, so they still have to move forwards and gain ground. Noto is trying to do just that, but Resol is kind of unstoppable at the moment from Goose. Dillard's waiting patiently, just gets taken down, unfortunately. James, they know where he is. They know where the bomb is, importantly. Really, really not a nice position for him to be in. He's got to ace up for this round. Direct 1v3. Oh my goodness, but a lovely, clean double swing comes in. Good sense of timing there. And it will be the 9 Pandas answer back.
Nice. Nice work, honestly. Again, a moment there where it felt potentially a little dicey, a little bit like it could have been on edge, but a good response for 9 Pandas. They keep themselves in a strong run, at least in the early part of this game, and at least a decent position to work with and to build upon, and also kind of a response off the back of a round that never should have been lost. They can kind of say to themselves, right, it's fine. Not the end of the world. We've made that one stick. We've made I guess this awkward spot that we were in terms of we gave a freebie over towards PARIVISION. We've done well to get back into it. So, first tack pause, and a very early tack pause, going to be called here by PARIVISION. Good opportunity for Kicker, for James, for even Dust2 to enter into the fray and give their thoughts. But it is still a pretty good start for 9 Pandas. They actually look really clean.
Yeah, I mean, it has been pretty chaotic thus far, so we'll see if we're going to get a slowdown in gameplay or if it will sort of keep up. I think it can kind of happen, these domestic derbies, especially sort of the more CIS ones, and you've got players that know each other very well and have played in teams with each other in the past and whatnot. It can get very, very messy. So, yeah, we might just be in for a very scrap-heavy, at least Dust2, I think it is kind of fair enough of all the maps to just sort of send it and try and get away with ridiculousness. It does make a bit of sense, but for now, PARIVISION, maybe take a head or two here would be nice, but this is not going to be their round.
No, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get too much out of this. Well, let's see. I mean, Tech9's Deagle's hitting a couple of nice shots, but they've really got to pull something out of nothing, if we're being completely honest, which does feel ever so slightly unlikely. You never know, but it does feel like it's probably got a bit of a lesser chance to happen. So, it should be a 4 for 9 Pandas. This is a pretty good start, actually. You know, you're pretty happy with where things are at right now. Just don't let this one slip out of your control. Don't let it fall for sort of no reason. Travis. Looking to open things up, that Deagle. Obviously hit a nice couple of shots earlier, but Alv's not peeking where he's playing. I don't know if his shoulder can be spotted there. Nota will go down, but then so will Alv. So yeah, I'm assuming Travis could just see his shoulder, and that was enough. This round's right back on here. We're trying to scale in towards B, and we've at least picked up one gun to work with. Travis, late lurk. He should go down to the shotgun, and he will. But Bomb will also go down to Dilladez, trying to close down the gap with the shotgun, and he's doing well. Auto shotgun. Beautiful stuff, and it's James in a tough 1v2. Ooh. He hits a great shot, but it's still the round for 9 Pandas. Credit to them for getting something out of that, though.
Yeah, Dilladez really confusing them, I think it's safe to say.
Yeah.
He seemed to just completely catch them off guard. But, again, chaotic. Lots of fights, lots of swings. James, just ridiculous. You wouldn't usually see him go for swings and peaks like that in a clutch situation, but yeah, they are kind of feeling it here. PARIVISION will give themselves a pretty good boost coming into this round. I think we need to start to see them compete and keep things close, because it is getting away from them a little. 9 Pandas picking up the all-important momentum, of course.
Yeah, all right. This is a slightly scrappy, weird affair, but it's 9 Pandas who are overcoming the obstacles. That in itself, not a bad spot to be in. 9 Pandas out the gates, get a little bit of breathing room. Just do enough to pull away. Don't make yourself feel under too much pressure. Two other guns back in play, though. Jamin towards the AWP. We're yet to see kills from Nota or Kick It. Belchuk's only got one. It's been the Jamin Travis show right now. Jamin is ever consistent in this team. And it's actually one of the really fun things about watching him. He just never seems to dip in form. But someone else got to step up to bat now. We need some support. We need somebody else just to alleviate some of this pressure.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, late smoke. That's going to be pretty nasty for PARIVISION. They're going to head through it, though. I don't know how I feel about this one. I don't know how they feel about it either. The return flashes are pretty good, though. James will make sure that there's enough space given across. Kills come in. 3 versus 2. They're really far away. I don't know that they even want to give this a look. Nota is kind of low, but it's like it's very unconfirmed damage. So PARIVISION, they riskily burst through, and initially it didn't look too good, but it was just that one, maybe 2 flashes, in fact, from James that helped turn the tides.
Very true. Very true. PARIVISION, a much-needed round for them, I think, is sort of ultimately the thing we're discussing, right? They really had to get going as early as and towards their second attempt at the gun round. I think now, more so, though, it's about trying to get a bit of consistency for them, right? We need to get, you know, some consecutive rounds on the board, and maybe a little bit less expensive too would actually probably help a hell of a lot. That round's okay, only 2 casualties, but yeah, you really don't want to let things get too out of hand. Still, good work. PARIVISION a second, and they can start building upon this sort of position that they're in ever so slightly. At least enough so that we can start to believe a little bit.
Yeah, let's see, I suppose, whether they can turn this into anything. It would be a pretty devastating loss, actually, I think, if they can't convert this.
Agreed.
9 Pandas, bit unorthodox here from them as well. They've got 4 out towards long. Are they looking to go around this corner? The answer at the moment is no, and I don't know, I feel like maybe they should. There's now 5 in at the long area. But they're just holding. You know, they're looking for the element of surprise kind of move, and so far so good. PARIVISION are on their way here.
Yeah, this could be a little funky. There's something brewing, at least. Fight coming through. Belchinok for a double as well. That is big. Really, again, helps the situation that you're in. And a shutdown as well. A couple of casualties, sure, but I think you're actually pretty happy with that in the end of things. So, sigh of relief, maybe, but it is going to be a 1-round game with no money to work with for 9 Pandas, so it should be at least a tied game, right? You know, if you let this one slip for PARIVISION, you don't deserve to be taking a lead. Simple as that. You don't deserve to be tying the game up. You're coming against what is essentially going to be little to nothing, really. It feels like, you know, maybe an ever so slight slow start, but they've really warmed up in towards this game. One spotted crossing mid. I think they're showing a lot of respect there, Jane, because, you know, he was taking all the necessities in case it was a gun on the other side. He doesn't know that there isn't.
Yeah, just playing safe. I mean, again, it's a situation where I think they want to keep costs low here.
Yep.
Really, really important kind of round. Don't want to lose, I'd argue, even one player, to be honest. But, you know, more than one, definitely not. A lot of information gained there for that one. Oh, yeah, death. Nice little flash comes in. They're close to a kill, but not quite able to convert, unfortunately. You know, yes, your flash might be good, but you are going into at least 4 other players. They had information on that, but all 5, of course, as we know. PARIVISION evening things up pretty quickly here, so 9 Pandas, I don't know, it'd be a good idea to maybe catch a pause and make sure that this doesn't get too far out of hand.
Yeah, just maybe have a little conversation. I think for now, maybe you're okay, but if you lose this round, I think coming into your next gun one, you probably would. Missed shot, but it was very close there on the jump across. It was a brief moment that could have been a little funky. Thankfully, it's not. Either way, though, this has been a wild game thus far. Both sides have been showing their moments, but it feels like PARIVISION have finally settled a little bit. Pop shot taken. Don't think the boost was spotted, but there's a lot of lower presence by 9 Pandas.
It is a fair bit of presence, but I mean, is it going to matter so much? PARIVISION are moving real fast here. Really, really fast indeed. The AWP is the one that's chiming in, finding a couple of kills thus far. It's a nice flash there. Molotov does indeed keep him at bay. Does a lot of damage to him, in fact. So he has to back off. Bomb plant will eventually come down here. James has to take it carefully, not quite sure what's coming at him. Meanwhile, quite fast Kicker goes down into tunnels, so I don't know that they will expect him this quickly. Result still checks it all the same. Head on a swivel type energy. So we've got James in the clutch. It's a tag that lands. He really wanted that frag nice and early into this clutch attempt. Would have been great for him. They've done well there to distract him away, and it will be an easy finish for the 9 Pandas.
Yeah, good round from them as well. I think a bit of reassurance into your own ability a little bit, I think, right? Just saying, okay, we can make these tougher rounds and these slightly scrappier rounds work for us. I actually really like what we're seeing in terms of the CT aggression from 9 Pandas. You see sides not prioritize it enough, I feel, and I think, you know, at least what we're seeing, they're not just sitting back and accepting whatever's kind of coming their way. They are pretty happy to say, all right, cool, let's show sort of our level a little bit, and let's step up in a way that we can go toe-to-toe with one of the scariest teams in Tier 2 right now. So, 5-4. Take back a lead, but of course still money to work with for PARIVISION. James holding for a pushing towards mid. It looks for now he should be okay, but it's Alv who opens things up. He is really come out the gates flying. 13-5 right now. So there's been doubts about young Alv, but he looks really good.
Yeah, he's thriving. He is thriving. But I'm impressed, and I think, you know, this is kind of, he's been a little bit of a head turner for the 9 Pandas recently. Again, given his sort of lack of experience and everything, and I think especially some of us were like, well, is he staying? Is he going? You know, there was a little bit of weirdness for a week or two there, as there often can be, and you know, as we know, sometimes players just leave teams while they're still under contract and whatnot. So you know, Diladez forced back here. Completely caught off, though, just not really aware of how close they could be. He's also very, very lonely on that B-bomb site. That's a big find from Belachonok through the smoke. Shalfie does manage a catch. Are they going to go for it, though? Double AWPs on the retake. Not really what you would want to wish for here, and such good information as well for PARIVISION to work with. But it does look like they are going to give it a look.
It's a big call. Hang on. Hello. Belchadok will go down, spun by Resol. Someone knows their angles. That is a great little work as Resol looks for a second. He now spots him out. He knows he's close left. Swing and a miss from Kicker. All down to one man. Has to be bailed out by Travis. Oh, knife out. What's going on? I can't believe it. Al's got away with it. He knifes out himself. They both right-click each other. And somehow, Al works out for the better. Has he got time? He has.
Oh, it's a little close.
Al, what a round from him again.
That's wild. That is totally wild. I don't know what to say. Yeah, timeout, rightfully so, I think, fellas.
I think, yeah, probably part of it feels, you know, partially a bit of tilt, probably leaning in like, my God, how is that the way we lose? I think Travis does so well, and unfortunately, all for naught. Oh, that is seriously brutal, though, genuinely. What a tough way for that one to sort of slip out of nowhere. Right down to the wire, he just runs out of ammo.
Insane. I think certainly a timeout needed after a round like that, and PARIVISION will be sort of kicking themselves. It felt like not in the bag, but, you know, the odds were pretty heavily in their favor. Yes, it was even, but we could see from our side, especially, 2 AWPs on the B-bomb site retake is just, you know, ridiculously hard, and you see what it takes in the end, you know, an absolutely mental turn of affairs.
Yeah.
So, PARIVISION, good for them that they're into using the timeouts, by the way. I think completely fair enough, but yeah, they're going to need to pick up the final couple of rounds just to keep this one close. And I think also for the mental, Shalfie, again, has been a real nuisance on this secondary AWP.
Close, Resol. Wants to get up in their face a little bit. Shalfie caught by James. Nice sort of knowing, right? You know, he's got that understanding that this could be a little funky. So good work from him. Belchadok finds Resol, who goes on that late push, and opening couple going the way of PARIVISION. This is a very good start this round. Sure, Travis has fallen, but you're in a good spot. Play together as a group, and you should have no issues.
Yeah, feeling pretty good. Diladez been sort of struggling on the other side of things. It's a nice find. Can he stay alive here, I suppose, is the question. The answer will be no. Grad with a pretty keen find, though, to bring it back into the 2 versus 2. He's also really, really, really quickly able to get on this flank, so they're going to have to deal with him potentially faster than they would like. He knows that, right? He's just trying to be a nuisance here and hopefully set up his teammate. Did James spot the edge of Alv? I think he might have done. Meanwhile, Nota going to go down, so James, they know about him.
Yeah.
Just Just all a question of what kind of order they go in. No, what's happened? No, surely not. Oh my goodness. Alf was like, I've got to get this kill. You're not getting it. Oh my god. That is, again, just unreal. Like, what is going on, man?
It's just another one of those rounds that it feels like it should have absolutely no right to be converted. And somehow we're sitting here and it is. So, I mean, absolute credit where it's due, but ridiculous game that we're getting at the moment. Oh, man. Oh, man. Alv continues to bail them out in these 1v1s as well. These rounds are ridiculous for... I would, you know, I'd say in some ways some of the worst reasons, but I count all the same. Funny game of Counter-Strike at the moment.
Incredible work. Nota will open up here. Travis going to find Dilladez. So, of course, you know, the unlikely round.
Yep.
From PARIVISION is the one that they're able to steal away with. It's still not secured. I'm not going to call it yet either because, you know, it has been a wild ride.
Yeah. Doesn't fill you with confidence, right?
No, of course not. No round is over until it's over, it feels like.
Especially with Alv alive. So I feel like if he's alive, man, I don't know. I feel like there might still be a little something there. Not going to doubt this one just yet. I'll have to wait and see, but it's been a crazy game thus far. Oh, okay. Now Al's dead. Now I can pretty happily say, sure, this one's done.
Yeah, making it look all too easy in the end, to be fair to them. But not too much that can be written home about in this half. I think it certainly should have been like a 7-5, to be fair, in favour of PARIVISION.
Yeah,
might even have been able to argue for the 8. Few pretty silly post plants coming in from PARIVISION for sure. So we'll see. I think going to be an interesting second half.
That's one way of putting it. Yeah, this has been a very odd game so far to cast, and it still feels very difficult to predict in terms of where we're at. Plenty of time left in there, of course, but. See, shot off there at the end by Belchidok. Nice work. It's a very even half, but a weird one all the same. Alv's done God's work. We'll see if he can continue it after the break. Welcome back. We had a very, very wild, I think is probably the way to put it. First half, a lot of clutches. Alv doing absolutely incredibly. The youngsters had, a couple of question marks about his position in the team. He's looking fantastic, but still only a 2-round game. It's now PARIVISION heading on towards the CT side of their own map pick, and they want to be able to make this one stick a little bit. I don't know. It still feels very up in the air for me here. 9 Pandas, they came out the gates looking quite good. They made some of these weird rounds stick for them. So I think they're probably feeling relatively confident. If they can get this T-side started well out the gates, nice and quick, it could be a real tough predicament for them. We'll have to see. But a slow pistol. They're moving towards short. They're waiting for the first fight. And there it is, jumping down towards CT. That does not end well for Alv and Dilates and Resso and Shalfi. We're all falling flawless. What a round for PARIVISION. No doubts in that one.
I feel like PARIVISION maybe knew what was coming.
Yeah, they'd read that
To be fair, that, 9 Pandas have got this CT drop pistol in their back pocket, something like that. Because they had, 2 guys down there, one on the site watching for it as well, sure. So it felt like they were very, very ready for that. Maybe the 9 Pandas special, but either way, it opens them up really well, which is pretty good. So PARIVISION could be set to just pick up the swing and start rolling away with things here. I think it could be very, very scary.
Gotta say, that's actually not my first time seeing 9 Pandas do that, so I think you are right. Kicker, making sure there's no doubt in that one. Crowd caught on the flying MP9. This feels like an existence time out though, Scriv. The old pause about calling a pause type vibe. And nice and simply, they will just whittle down the clock a little bit. But I mean, liking this game for some of the wilder reasons. It's been very, very funky, but at the same time, very fun, quite refreshing in its own way.
On the hunt here, hoping to close the round out quickly. Meanwhile, 9 Pandas hanging around, getting a bit bored, starting to move in. Kicker is ready to make some money here, though, if he plays it right. 2 kills, maybe could have had a third there. It felt like he had time to reset for sure. Resol, however, knows that his days are numbered. He does manage to take another one with him, though. So I think that's kind of fair. 2 kills for him as well is a good bit of money for this next round.
It is. It is. It's at least a little bit of confidence in the back pocket. But roll tide square. 7 apiece. And still into a position where little sort of hard to predict still, it feels, at the moment. Where in these gun rounds, they've been quite back and forth. Oh, Jane gets so unfortunate to get the kill there. He will reposition towards top short. That is the right call. And they're going to break open the smoke. There's the lineups. He wants to try and find the suicide guy. So Dilates is lucky to still be alive, honestly. Another nade that comes through to break open that smoke. He'll look back in towards mid. He spots him again. What? Now they scaled up in towards short.
Yeah, moving up quick. Not overcommitting, though. Just trying to bait some utility out, I think, was the whole idea of making noise there. So that works in and of itself. They just have to try and reapproach things a little bit later on in the round. Still a fair bit left, though. PARIVISION got themselves... Well, it was 3, it's now 2, but still, it's a lot of smokes with a minute left. So they have some pretty good amount of nadage to work with here. I think this could really slow down the 9 Pandas game plan.
Yeah, let's see. A double pump exit towards A, and PARIVISION have read this wrong. I mean, James actually got to do a lot of heavy lifting here. Flash going to come over. He wants to fight. Travis also here as well to catch the extremities. Now, this changes. That other player in towards doors is super low. They're going to have to give up the A site, but they've got the right idea. As long as somebody just makes sure to stick around here and keep eyes trained on door, this could be huge. Or if Travis clears it, that'll be in itself pretty massive. They know Dilates is there. Attention can be focused elsewhere now. They can go back towards the site. Numbers advantage for them in a 5 versus 4. Dildes goes down, so he gets even better. A triple stack coming up via short. A swing on the site, and good work. Very, very well played from PARIVISION. Yes, they allow the site to fall, but they do it on purpose to regroup. That's well done.
Yeah, really well played. Really, really well played. And it ends up looking like a fantastic retake. So, yeah, I think they'll be really, really happy with the way that that's gone. As you say, concede some control, but they know sort of where their strengths lie, and yeah, just put all the resources in the right place, really. Very, very well executed in the end. 9 Pandas do get that bomb down. Don't quite have the loss bonus stacked up yet. Still, you know, early enough in the half. So they're kind of going to go in for it, you know. It's an AK out from Resol. He has been having a decent enough game, but I still don't know how I feel about it. Even in the same vein, could have gone in for the force, try and stay hot on the heels, right? And you've got the rounds to work with, and a round like this, bursting out onto B, might have worked a bit better for you. That being said, down to 2 is pretty nice. Shalfie. Oh, the timing is disgusting, isn't it? However, the bomb's been dropped on the other side. 5 HP for Kicker. I don't feel too confident in him here. This is a really difficult 1v1 to come out on top of, but Shalfie has to move to him is the big thing here.
Yeah, bless him. This is difficult. All right, it's for sure. Still a world. Just a belief that something could arise here. A very funky round, though, as it's all, like you said, 5 HP and a complete reposition. He's got so much time to work with Shalfie as well. Kicker, I think he's just going to get caught here. I don't know if this is going to work out for him, and down he goes. Decent recovery at the end there. There was a brief moment that I felt like it could have been a little funky, but not to be. 8-all. PARIVISION letting one slip there. And the Tech9 doing very well of Shalfie. He looked very clean with it.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Very, very tough one for PARIVISION to be on the end of, but indeed, just sort of bursting forwards, relying on those pistols. Sometimes, as we talk about quite a bit, it's a very different game that you got to deal with. But can they keep it up into the regular rifle rounds, I suppose, is the big question.
True. Big control taken. Of course, there's a buyback in place for PARIVISION, but still, he's still a little awkward. Very contentious fighting towards mid doors here, because you don't want to overextend too much and lose your life for nothing, but at the same time, it's you don't want to give too much control. They're scaling up short actually quite quickly. This could get a little weird. Kicker playing behind this smoke. I'm assuming he just gets flashed off the angle, but if he can get, honestly, he gets 2 here, it might be pretty nice. Break it open, and Dildes cracks him there. What a shot. They've dropped down in towards CT. The flashes come over. Another one that does get avoided, but it's still only a 1-for-1. So numbers still stay in favor of 9 Pandas. And I think the way they're looking here, PARIVISION is going to call for the save.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Felt like Travis was in a very good spot there.
Yeah.
But just so many flashes coming at him. I don't even know that they were meant for, you know, him and his angle, but he just couldn't get set up properly. I think if he finds 2, we might be on, you know, or he gets 1 and survives. But just unfortunate the way that it goes down for him, you know. There's many other iterations of that moment and that round where they don't have that many flashes, or, you know, just opt not even to go for them. But 9 Pandas looking pretty good here. I think this is a very, very solid look for them. You know, they come into this and this is the punish.
Yep.
As it's not really a map that they really enjoy very much. So the fact that it's coming close is one thing. If they're able to take it even over the line, then it could be really, really big for the sort of progression of this series.
Yeah, so far, so good. 9 Pandas, they've been actually looking pretty solid. And a tough one for PARIVISION, who have definitely been feeling a bit of the pressure. 9Pandas, an interesting approach here. Oh, hang on. He's been spotted, James. They know he's here, but he actually does get the luxury of getting out. That's something to work with, but there was a real world that could have gone a little shaky. There it is. Scaling towards Xbox and now moves up in towards short. This mid to short control has actually been pretty excellent, it has to be said, for the likes of 9Pandas. They've been looking pretty good at getting this control, not feeling too uncomfortable. Molly and a flash, a standard combo that just forces James away. Nothing he can really do about it. It's Travis on the site with an MP9. His best option here is just to buy as much time as he can and let them get up close.
"50 seconds here. 9Pandas going to have to start to make a move. Looks to be a sneaky little B split. They will start to make the game known, however. I don't know, man. This smoke, the timing is really awkward. Dilladez is in pretty deep. Ressalt's been heard as well, but the main frontal attack from the tunnels is enough, it would seem. So PARIVISION falling apart at the seams here, despite how, you know, sort of dodgy that split looked, and maybe, you know, just a lack of communication that they weren't immediately going to go through the smoke. I don't rightly know, but it works for 9Pandas in the end, I guess.
It does, exactly. Felt a little funky, but they've made that one stick, and now they hit double digits, 2 rounds ahead, 3 away, and honestly, feeling pretty good, all things considered. I'm liking what I'm seeing, not having to work sort of too hard, I think, for these rounds, and I think what we're seeing now is unfortunately quite a worrying display of maybe just dominance in a way, right? This is a really, really nice kind of in-look into just how good 9Pandas can be. You know, it's a pretty even game. All of these players will know each other very, very well, and they'll know how they play. Prep is pretty simple, ultimately. So far, so good. 10-8. Unfortunately, you know, we've saved a little bit here. It's an AWP, double MP9, and double upgrade on the pistol. It's a tough one to convert. It might take something a little gimmicky to make this sort of a round stick.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I mean, maybe that's what they're going to need, though. It's kind of what started the campaign for 9Pandas, to be fair, was, you know, a crazy aggressive round to just regain some of that confidence. We'll see a quick 1-for-1 in at middle, so could be a big deal here, but we'll see. Things are, again, starting to slow down. 9Pandas, they love winding this clock down at the moment, and it's been pretty effective for them, so.
It was quiet as we get towards that minute mark. Either way, there's still enough here that can make us feel like there's something, but Belchok really had to win that one out, and he just can't. The second going to have a look in this direction, but to swing and a miss for Nota. Same fate as his fellow rifler, and this one looks like it's going to be confirmed. You might even just be tempted to try and do as much as you can to save this AWP, in all honesty.
Type situation, but it's not coming their way. It might have done for a second there, to be fair. They were thinking about it up short, but instead going B, that's confirmed completely safe. So they'll get the bomb down here. Number 11 going to be in the bag. And yeah, PARIVISION just completely disappearing here. They were looking very, very strong sort of at the start of this half and certain stages of that first as well. You know, very, very chaotic beginning, but they were remaining close. 9Pandas, out of nowhere, off the back of that force buy victory, seemed to have just turned things around here, and PARIVISION losing themselves a little, I think.
Yeah, agreed. Looks like the AWP will stay alive, but will is a bit of an operative term. There's more fights and a bit of deer in headlights, Jamie. Didn't know where to look there, unfortunately. That will cost him. And it will mean that we continue scaling forth of a, a really, really good display. I mean, beautiful work, I think, is kind of the main thing. We're just seeing these individuals showcase just how good they actually can be. And unfortunately, time is running out for PARIVISION towards map number 1. Ancient up next, and 9 Pandas just look really, really clean. Out doesn't spot anything. It's a jump peek around that smoke, though, sticking around to test him, but that's worth the risk, at least for me. Jay, down he goes. Nota will deliver on towards 1, but once again, like we spoke about, this mid to short control has been absolutely excellent, and here's another fantastic indicator of it.
Yeah, big style. Looking to scrap around here once again, though. Oh, Dilladez drawn away. There'll be Kicker on the AWP to find that frag. So sometimes it is not the user of the gun, and simply its position. Kicker making pretty strong case for his ability on the AWP.
Yeah, nice shot from Kicker. You don't see him too often on it. He's not a bad game, to be fair to him as well, Kicker. Molotov will come over. This should actually not catch Belchok, but he gets distracted looking at it. He's, like a dog with a toy. Didn't know where to... Oh, crad. Come on, mate. What are we doing? What are we doing? How's he let that one slip like that? It's a 1v3 and actually a very doable retake. 2 coming through tunnels. 1 late on that play, but you've given Result the ability to isolate, and now they're split up. This is janky, to say the least. Travis has run a clutch like this before, but on the flip side, Resol's doing very well. He knows there's another tunnel player. He's got a good understanding. And now he's spotted the shoulder. Notes it's here. Swing it in. Kicker. He went in as the human flashbang, and it draws the crosshair off. Oh, for a moment, that was very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, we're going to see here. This is a little closer now then. Quite a big round to be taking. 9 Pandas, again, not going in for any timeouts as they look to just go straight into things. I think it's kind of fair enough. They've got plenty of cash, but we do have to give the respect to Cross. PARIVISION win it out with a kicker AWP performance. Are they going to be able to do that again, I suppose, is maybe where the logic is at. And we'll see if 9 Pandas, now that they've, finally let one slip, if they're able to pull anything out of the strat book, so to speak.
Yeah. It's that uncomfortable thing that, sort of where we're at right now. It's 9 Pandas who are still financially in a good spot. I still think should be feeling very comfortable is probably the way I go about it. So, yeah, tough predicament. All right, scaling up short, as they've been doing oh so well. But this is known, right? I feel like, we've seen at least this attempt to react from PARIVISION. Kicker, dropping a lot of util to keep them at bay. Smoke going to be thrown. He needs to make sure he stays safe himself. Smoke will go down. There's a 1 throw from the T side. An 8 inside of it could have been huge there. But no, for now, quiet is the start as they are getting some space. It's this fight, which is awkward. First is good. Doesn't really avoid the flash, but Kicker's nade finding 1, which is huge. And Krad should be dead here. He is caught in the smoke. They know the remaining 2 are coming through long. This round should not fall apart for PARIVISION. Everything is in place for this to go right. And Dilladez tagged as well. He's moving forward with that AK. He has to single-handedly crack it open as Alv with the AWP wants to be in a post plant, but it's not 2B. Alv gets 1, but a 1v3. And he had his knife out, so no chance in that spot. 10-11. PARIVISION making a 1-round game.
Yeah, could be going the distance here for sure. Again, still going to be money available for 9 Pandas, but it will dry up after this one, so I don't know. It's a little scary. It is a little scary right now. They have lost the momentum quite severely as well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the rounds were going their way and, coming down to some clean post-plant moments, some clutches maybe. So if you lose that, then PARIVISION all of a sudden it becomes a lot easier for them to just hold you off.
Agreed. This is not quite last chance to Luna a little bit, but he loses for 9 Pandas without getting a bomb plant, and it will mean that PARIVISION, of course, not only get the 11th, but get the 12th too. Money broken, and then you are playing for overtime. And it's tough. Very tough predicament. Things are feeling a little funky in this game. There's still life left in it, that is for sure. Nice shot. That comes through, though, from Al. James going to get caught, and actually a head-to-head that Al's been doing pretty well in.
Yeah, to be fair to him. Yeah, no, he's had a pretty good game here. Flash through the smoke. Travis. Oh, he goes early, and it's absolutely massive. Yeah, the support is now here. They've heard the dink there. They know he's in that smoke, and wow. Yeah, what a moment. What a keen position from Travis as well. He knew what was up. It started so well for 9 Pandas, but PARIVISION just have their number right now.
They do. They do. Big sort of credit where it's due as well for 9 Pandas, who... Oh, sorry, for PARIVISION, may I say, who... It's taken a bit of a while for them to get in towards the CT side, but they're actually starting to scale up quite impressively. And unfortunately, a difficult spot that we are in. I'm a little worried for 9 Pandas. They might have run out of gimmicks to make work for them, unfortunately. It's a tough predicament that they're in, though. No two ways about it. 11-all. No buy for them in towards this one, or not going to be a full buy, I assume. Alf's gone to a scout. Are we playing for the win? It's a big risk. I'd be kind of going for a bit of a half buy and full buy next and just hope you can reclaim a little bit of fortune. It seems like they've retracted a little bit. So yeah, it is just going to be a bit of a half buy. Scout going to try and tag him. The pistols bag him. The old classic strategy. Not a good start, though, because Alf's dead.
No, yeah.
That will help. You know, that will help the things for PARIVISION quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, I would think so. He was a lot of their game plan, wasn't he? Just try and be annoying with the scout, but now he's gone. I mean, Result picks it up immediately, so maybe he can get a bit of something going, but yeah, not looking too good here, that's for sure. And I think this is your penultimate round of regulation, playing for overtime round. You still want to keep it a bit competitive and exciting, right? To just not give PARIVISION any time off here.
Exactly. Well, all goes eerily quiet. You want a bomb plant. That's what 9 Pandas are pretty desperate for. It will really alleviate the financial pressures. It's a pretty mean setup on towards B, though. Player backside. They now know about that. That flash will come through. And oh, brilliant work for Belchenok for a double on the support here from Nota. Belchenok comes in for more of his own. And Nota closes it out. Only the one casualty, but Belchenok had done his job and done it pretty emphatically as well. 12-11 map point to PARIVISION to kickstart this series. It has been a weird and wonderful game, but yeah, they're in a good position now to really be able to close this out. Sure, there's guns to come through, but PARIVISION are going to be feeling so confident.
Yeah, they'll be pretty happy with themselves as well, right? This was 11-8, so, you know, it's maybe not the biggest or longest comeback, but it is a pretty intense one, right? You can't really put a foot wrong, and what a way to start it. Two-piece comes in at long. So well read, and such a change from them as well. We've not really seen all that much relentless aggression coming in. So 9 Pandas maybe trying to play around that fact, and yeah, PARIVISION change it up. Really well done.
Yeah, pretty spicy stuff. James holding up close. Molotov going to come down as well as that smoke phase, and he would have heard that tick. The remaining 3 and 9 Pandas got to bail them out here. This is looking really uncomfortable. Shot rings off, misses both ways. A fighting towards short, which goes 1 for 1. It will closed out at the end there by Belchenok, who catches Crad, and that will be at the final whistle, it will be a big round coming through, a big map, may I say, coming through for PARIVISION, kickstarting this series so damn well. It was really dicey. 7-5 half, but it wasn't a really nice half.
Like qualifiers and whatnot will have at least a little bit of an impact.
Yes, yeah.
On ranking, you know, they maybe do have to get it right, because otherwise, you know, open qualifiers will end up having too much of an impact, and you could really get a little funky in there, like placing well across many different qualifiers could move you up a bit too much, but I think it should have somewhat of an impact, and then teams like PARIVISION can start to climb a bit more consistently. We are straight into things here and not wasting any time with the fights either, as they get very quickly down middle, looking for those early scrappages. Just going to be 2 remaining here for 9 Pandas, though. Not really ideal. Shalfie goes down. Quick goosh onto Dilladez as well, so it's looking pretty good here for PARIVISION now.
It's feeling it. Let's see. Dilladez all alone. Poor guy, he's so low as well. It just feels really quite dicey here. It's not impossible, but it really requires something quite special to work out. And no two other ideas. 4 kills for the youngster. Starting off this pistol is not bad. Youngest in the server, and I mean, maybe between him and Al, but it can't be more than like half a year in it. No two around saying 17 years of age. So not a bad start. Giving yourself out the gates good space to work with, and a bit of, again, confidence, right? You know, back yourself in terms of how good you know you can play. And that's good to see. It is. So, beautiful stuff. A really nice start for PARIVISION. They needed that. I said I've liked what I've seen. And it's true. I have really enjoyed watching PARIVISION play this map. I think they've got some nice protocols.
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, it's going to be a map again that someone like James is able to just bring some really great ideas onto.
Yeah, agreed.
I feel like it, you know, it has just very fine percentage tweaks that probably a lot of teams at this level need to make, that are potentially just a little lazy to make as well. So, yeah, we could see them just bring that extra edge here.
Well, the Pistols are going to have a look in. I don't blame them. You've got not a lot to lose or anything. You've really got to worry about is maybe just feeding the MAC-10 a little bit. Can also be decent money in the back pocket. But this is a round that we're not caring too much about. They're going for a late play. A couple of taps for that Galil. Not amounts too much. Belchuk is probably backing over a bit of support. They have tapped him towards the bomb, but there just isn't time. So as long as they don't get sucked in too badly, they should be fine. And yeah, great work. Everyone should die who was on towards ramp, and that will be the case. Okay, there was a moment. It did feel a little awkward. Thankfully not to be. Beautiful work. Beautiful. It's a little expensive, probably more so than PARIVISION would have wanted, but I don't think they're going to care that much, if I'm being completely frank. First gun round coming through for 9 Pandas. Has to be used effectively.
Early utility. Quite a lot of smokes out from the T side, so maybe looking to move fast here. Nothing really presenting though, so yeah, it doesn't really happen for them. Not quite sure what they're going to have left then, to be honest. Only one smoke remains. We'll see. Aggression coming down the ramp. Maybe this is part of what they anticipated though, to be fair. It is being watched for. Travis gets really nice timing. Might have spotted a shadow there on his peaks. Dilladez will trade one back, however.
All right. Bit funky so far. In the opening 1-for-1. Not actually a lot of information gained, I think, is the, the slightly unfortunate thing about this. Travis, kick it. 1 apiece. Dilladez does get one, but essentially was drawn away from Caves, so that cost him his life. And unfortunately for Result, absolutely nothing you can do here. You're honestly just saving. He's in towards Donut. There's no money left in the back pockets for 9 Pandas. You are just keeping hold of what you've got. As simple as that. Great work, great round. And another one of those where it makes you feel, pretty at least positive about what PARIVISION are trying to bring to the table here. These are some really, really good rounds.
Yeah, really solid. And again, just kind of playing into their hands, I think, is one of the key things to consider, right? We talked about the start of this round, looked a little dodgy, but maybe it was all part of the plan, to draw them in and give those fights across. So, pretty solidly played. Travis in particular, who had a really good map 1 as well. Another name, I think, onto this team that may well get overlooked. He's been sort of one of the more consistent tier 2 CIS riflers for a long time now, but has always been sort of like overshadowed on the teams that he's on. You know,
it's because of roles, I feel like, right? He just plays very simple, standard support roles, but he's so good at them. Yeah,
just always been that gap filler kind of player, I think, really. And, maybe not super greedy, but we'll see potentially making a case for himself on this team. Hard to say. I think they're playing a pretty loose style as well in terms of where the roles are at, especially on this T side. PARIVISION just sort of playing it by ear at the moment. Pretty easy cleanup there in the previous round as well. It was a semi-throwaway round from 9 Pandas, not really expecting too much. Bit of a shame they don't get any return on the investment, but we'll see now moving into yet another rifle round.
Yeah, they're not having to break too much of a sweat here, PARIVISION. So for 9 Pandas, this is an incredibly important round for them. No two ways about it. You let this one slip, and you're going to put yourself into a really uncomfortable spot. Could be dicey. Elbow spam was so close by Result, but that's good mid control taken by 9 Pandas, and that regardless is something you can take 1-for-1 early, but the map control's decent. They're going to have to spend a lot of resources and time getting that mid control back if they want to use it for rotates. They've also lost ramp 2s. That's going to continue, again, to draw some attention away. And that keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, just a little bit. Crad. Oh, it's a big fight for James to be winning. He does, unfortunately, get flattened by the man in the corner. Dilladez able to make it out? The answer would be yes. Meanwhile, in all this carnage, Travis has crept in behind. Dilladez therefore knows he's got to move forwards, and it ends up being a very chaotic finish, a finish that goes in favor of PARIVISION. There was just no slowdown at all from 9 Pandas, but again, a really big find there from Travis to just thread that needle.
Yeah. Nice work. Nice work indeed. Was potentially looking a little funky, but it's a 5-0 start, and it will be a timeout called by 9 Pandas. And you've got to be honest, I'm really not too surprised, to be perfectly frank. It has been a really, really solid display and a very, very good run when it's mattered. And obviously what we've seen has been just PARIVISION not pulling any punches at all. They have been loving life so far. It's a tough call to have as well for 9 Pandas, because you now have 2 attempts at your gun rounds, and both of which are falling incredibly flat. It doesn't instill a lot of confidence in you, and it's going to start to make you feel, at least to some degree, just a little bit uncomfortable. It's worrying. It is worrying indeed. In towards... Oh, a couple of taps with the CZ, gets close, and there was another player just around that corner. There was a moment there that was feeling a little awkward. Thankfully, it doesn't.
Spam down is eventually effective. Dilladez is going to be the first one to fall. It's a little harsh to go down through the smoke, of course. Oh, these bullets are a bit close to kick it, though, so... Yeah, the old ancient conundrum coming in, the spam on spam. This is kind of an interesting move as well, out towards Jag, whether they want to push for it. I think if they get good timing, could get in behind with this M4. PARIVISION, though, they are not moving right now.
Yeah, pause call, right? They want to see what the reaction's like. We're under a minute, though, 50 seconds, so Decision got to be made sooner rather than later. Where is it that we want to try and finish? It's a shutdown towards Shelf. This round had real moments of being worrying, but a very, very nice response just to dispel any of those doubts. There is, of course, Result still alive, but it's not going to make too big of a difference at all. There was definitely the moment and definitely a bit of a worry, but thankfully, not to be. So, great work. Will be a 6th, and they've gone over towards the A site just to confirm it. 10 seconds to get that bomb down, but that's plenty of time for them.
Yeah, should be all good. Result. He's just going to hide in the corner, so we'll be in for the extended finish here.
Yeah,
they might be after him a little bit.
I think is one thing, because the one thing I worry about with PARIVISION, it's not a worry just yet, but you don't have, like, a lot of HP, bar Nota. Maybe you can send Nota over to try and 1v1, but I think, maybe not risk it that much, I think is probably the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah. They maybe don't quite know fully from calculations or whatever. Like, individual money can be a bit hard to fully keep track of.
Sure.
But he's going to drop, which is a pretty big deal, actually, because Shalfie has not enough to buy himself.
Yes. Yeah. That will help quite a bit. 6-0. Looking really, really great at the moment. Again, going back to what I was saying, I've been enjoying this map for PARIVISION. I really feel like they've looked like an incredibly solid side, and I think they've offered up so much for me recently where it's enough to put you a bit of confidence. Shalfie swinging towards elbow, gonna get both as Nota gets spammed down. That's so unfortunate, just lines up behind him. That's really, really tough to see.
Hey, well, it's pretty good to see as well, I think, is the thing, because they have been lacking a bit of that confidence.
Yeah.
So, great that they immediately pull it out in what is probably the biggest round of the half thus far. This is a key turning point. If PARIVISION hit that mathematical victory, the 7-0, it would be pretty disastrous. And the potential for it to go even deeper, of course, still not over just yet. This would be a real egregious loss if 9 Pandas let this 5v3 slip.
Yeah, we can't, surely. We can't be letting this sort of a round slip. Messy fights. But a 1-for-1 is still good. Crad will be seen off. All right. Still a little bit weird where we're at. There's still a chance. But James had to hit that shot for there to be a chance. 25 seconds. It shouldn't be the case here. 1v3. And there's a world he might even just save. Travis is so low. It looks like he's going to have a look in regardless. Sitting inside of that smoke with the bomb on his back, with an AWP. And Result understands as a possibility. I think he just saves the AWP here. Even though they're not, worried about the econ or about the money.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's a round that you have any sort of a chance of winning. And I think, a smart decision by him just to retract a little bit, pull back and just say, sure, it is what it is. So it will be finally a round for 9 Pandas. It's taken a long time, but we get something to give us a bit of internal confidence. Oh my God. That was, for a moment, feeling very, very weird. And yeah, they'll get there in the end. The only question really being is, can we now chain this into more, right? Can we get some consistency?
They're going to have to, for sure. They're really...
If it's a flash
not
in
in a much better
position.
position.
Them, right? That's it.
Yeah, exactly. They need to make sure they turn this into something. And, I think at this point, fully closing the gap is not going to be easy. PARIVISION, one of the good things that we have seen from them in this series and just in general, they're really not afraid to use those timeouts. I think, you have a lot of experience here. Kicker and James can bring a lot to the... But also, Dust2 behind them wants to be quite vocal as well. Yep. So they're using all those parts nicely, which is really good to see. And I think that makes them harder to you know, steal momentum from.
Well, let's see. Big nades on towards Travis. He might be tempted to not fight. Oh my god. Shalfie. That nade alone probably does it. Yeah, poor Travis. He was just inside of it. He was only using the nade to break open that smoke, but that'll hurt. Belchuk still finds Threshold though. We got space now towards A. We're scaling up. Nade gonna bank over. Does a bit of damage on towards Al, and the smoke in front of his face. It might even just be the round itself. Molotov down 2. You genuinely might just save it. 3v4 retake with an AWP, and both Alv and Crad at around half HP. I don't even know if this is worth giving it a go, and it feels like they're retracting for that exact reason.
Yeah, it's rough immediately getting returned on like that. I mean, you know, it's not ideal parameters for sure, and it's not like they've been absolutely devastated, just a little bit unlucky on the A fight. I think if he gets one player, they maybe try and look for the retake. Ooh, nice find from Alf. Keeps him alive. They might go for a pretty heavy hunt here. Plenty of cash available. And denying 1 or 2 guns away, especially if they can find that AWP, would be pretty huge here, but not going to heavily commit to it. All the same, right back in there. 7-1, looks pretty good. And they're still set up for like a really scary 9-10 round scoreline here.
Exactly. Still a good spot. I think, you know, for PARIVISION, they've guaranteed the lead. I mean, even that alone on the T side, you make arguments like that might even be enough, right? But something quite drastic has to change for us to start to believe. Let's see, I'm not going to completely discount them just yet, but yeah, hard predicament, of course, that they're in. 1 for 1, early. Bomb goes down. Flash comes over. Crad trying to play around this smoke himself, but he knows it's not really a fight he can take, and the Molotov will slow him down. He wanted to get that long control. Molotov comes through, and I think, again, we're going to call to fall back and say that's so unfortunate. Really is. We're sort of sticking around Belchuk a little bit, and I think he's got the confidence to fight. It's just out with the AWP. But another brutal one to slip like that.
Well, I mean, this is just, again, the power of the timeout, the power of taking a moment. And it does feel that PARIVISION just riding the wave, you know, won the pistol.
Yeah.
See how it goes. And then they lose the 1 round, and they're like, right, now we can pull out a few more kind of in-depth rounds that we've got planned. The A take in the previous, switching across to B in this round. So pretty smart stuff just to keep it fresh and unpredictable, and yeah, save the best for when they need it. And I think, yeah, feeling very, very confident in themselves, still riding that momentum from the first map, it feels like, as well. And as you said, their Ancient has been quietly picking up steam the past couple of weeks for sure. So yeah, looking really, really good here. And if they can continue it, I think 9 rounds would be a super solid scoreline to be at. Little awkward to begin things here. Shalfie is in a very good spot. Okay. I think a failed smoke there in towards Red Room makes all the difference. He's able to see over it pretty easily. Finds 2, sets up a 3rd. You know, just kind of a mess because of the 1 missed smoke. Deadly spam, however. Might bring them back into it. We'll see.
All right. Let's have a look. Up. Sort of got the right idea, but Jamie is double scope, so he's tunnel vision in, and he won't be keeping an eye on this. And Shalfie doesn't actually need to peek. I don't know whether they're going to check this. There's a bit of util being set up. They might go dry, and that'll cost them. Pistol pulled out. Not a tag as well. Jamie is dead, but I can respect Shalfie for playing time, waiting for the support to come through. But ultimately, simple round. Nice early fight, utilizing that well. And a second for 9 Pandas. Finally. But, you know, it's one of those, is 4 even enough?
I mean, 4, I think you've got to be getting. Yeah, if any more drop from here, it is going to be a pretty tough spot. And if it's more of the same, if it goes to like 10-2,
yeah,
then you are pretty screwed for sure. And again, we're seeing the PARIVISION timeout come in. It was so effective last time. Just put an immediate stop to any kind of comeback. So, yeah, if PARIVISION have the same sort of success, then 9 Pandas are not going to be in a nice place at all.
Agreed. This is, yeah, still a little bit on edge for me. It's a bit on the nose for 9 Pandas. Even if they got 4, it still feels like the recovery required is mammoth. You know, we saw a 7-5 in favor of 9 Pandas, which they lost, but that is workable. You get a pistol, and that's it, right? You sort of done your job, really. And yeah, tough predicament. Early fights. Alv does well for that second for the team on towards Belchinok. Kicker went down very early, but they still do have room here. Smoke down Donut. Molly in towards Temple. Molly will bank over, but they can still probably plant actually safe. Or safely in quotation marks.
Yeah, I mean, he's taking his sweet time getting over here. They know they've got to defend as they plant that bomb. Oh, my goodness. And Travis looking to get straight into the mixer here. Will lose his head. So, not looking too good. James strikes with the AWP. He will be traded instantly. It's just going to be Nota then. I think they're aware of him. Shadows and all that good stuff. What can he really get done? There's just too many bodies to get through, unfortunately. So, initial idea, not too bad. But this time around on the A hit, they lose more on the roll into the site. And it makes all the difference, of course, in that retake. So, 3 rounds looks a little better. If they can hit 4, 9 Pandas, I think, will give themselves some breathing room at the very least.
Sure. I feel you. You get 4. You're going to require a pistol, the force behind it, and then probably the one to follow that of, I guess, we're talking probably they need that first gun round as well. PARIVISION falling a little flat at the end here. The final round, they still have the guns at the very least. Mac 10 out. Jay wants to go quick here. Jay does go quick. Damage dealt, which will allow Kicker to get that trade. That you'll take every day of the week.
Oh, the ramp push could be deadly. Travis spots the player at the back, but Diladez has managed to creep in. I think they'll be acutely aware of him, but it's still not a nice angle to fight. Those are 2 very, very big kills that could really save the day here. Molotov is well placed. Bomb does not yet want to commit. He will eventually make his way round. And here we are for the retake. This could be everything.
Yeah, bomb going down. Can't deny that plant, but who just got the right idea here as he moves in towards Cubby. So it's an awkward angle to clear, but Shalfie does very, very well. Kicker now into the clutch. Has to go massive in this one. It's not an easy spot to really work with. He's smoked out from short. They'll know they came through cave and ramp, so they know he has to be over in this direction. Swinging a fine though. Gets the second. Kicker goes huge. What a round to close it out. 9-3 at the half. That is massive for PARIVISION. We'll see if they can continue it though after the break. Welcome back. That was a very, very wild game to start us off. A very wild half, may I say. 9-3 in favor of PARIVISION. And their opponent's map pick, no less, is not bad at all. Still more needs to be done to fully convince us, but I think ultimately they've really, really looked super solid. So great work, and I think one pistol would be more than enough to see this one over the line in towards mid. Travis just completely overlooks that close angle. But the kills come back in favor. 3v3. Bomb still yet to go down as well. This round's still got some life left in it.
Yeah, another scrappy affair, of course, as seems to be the trend here between these two teams. Bomb will go down. Crad nearly dies while trying to get the plant in. The nade doesn't quite make it to him. I mean, this is all over the place. Still got this kit. Still got the Julies as well, is maybe the big thing to watch out for. Alv is just going to mow them down, though. And Jane was hoping for a wider swing from the back, but they're pretty confident in Alv, it would seem, and rightfully so. He's been pretty nasty with the pistols. I think he might have had that one in the bag as well if his teammate had not nicked it out from under him, but all the same, 9 Pandas buying themselves that all-important pistol.
Yeah, needed. Good work for them. It, reinstills a bit of confidence in you, saying, all right, we got some ideas of our own, to be fair. Well, good work. 9 Pandas needed that. They need, of course, that, the force buy, and the next couple of gun rounds.
Not much to write home about here. PARIVISION stacking the wrong Bob site. A story as old as time. So they'll hear all the nades coming in. Going to try and look for an angle to, net 1 kill or something like this. But even that, I think, is a little out of the question at this point. So kind of an anticlimactic round, unfortunately. Still 9 Pandas. No massive tests as yet, as we like to say. The pistol rounds can be a bit random. Shalfie spots out the barrel of Jame. And we'll make some quick money. But yeah, it's a big test in the next. We're going to see what PARIVISION have got in store.
It's true. Those have to go pretty big in towards this gun round. Just once again, find that form. Show the dominance that you have been showing on this map. And just put 9 Pandas back into a run. Also, locking yourself into double digits this early would also be, it'd be pretty massive. It's, definitely an awkward sort of spot for kind of 9 Pandas, because the consistency required from them is absolutely mammoth to get into this. So let's see. Not going to give up on them just yet, but this go around everything. 9 Pandas. Pretty standard setup early. Slight nade damage towards kicker. Nothing too major.
Oh my goodness. Raining in with the mollies in particular. 4 go flying through. And arguably it does slow them down a little bit. I think it just allowed PARIVISION. Yes, there was flames everywhere, but, to just take the swings and win out some pretty favorable fights. That feels like such a wild kind of execute. Maybe I am reading into it a little bit too much, but you had 1 smoke come over and 4 mollies. So you've got 3 players solidly out of action there for a good amount of time. If not all 4 of those sort of molly throwers. Insane, really.
Makes you question, kind of, in that spot, was it actually sort of worthwhile, right? Tough one, that to slip in the way that it did. And it will reinstill the confidence back into us of just how good PARIVISION actually are. This side have really been scaling up in the general scene of the tier 2 and been looking so good while doing it. And we're seeing exactly why right here, right now. We do get a buy back in for 9 Pandas, which is good. But arguably, you could say here, Scriv, that you lose this and that's that, right?
Yeah, this is true. This is very, very true. I think they're, you know, in a pretty dire position after that first half, really. Just not allowing themselves much room at all to work with, and it is going to make a big difference. You have a lot more margin for error, I suppose, on the PARIVISION side of things. They can take a few more risks, play a bit more aggressively if they want, but at the end of the day, most of what they do just gives them so much control, and the fact that they are able to nail that first rifle round, I think, is going to be a real boon moving into what should be a quick finish here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Swing and a miss from Noto. They're ramping up towards A. There's 2 players still here to meet them. Dilladere's going to go down. They all look away. Where's the trading? Where is the spacing from 9 Pandas? They all turn their heads as they get drawn out. And that will cost them. That is a brutal way for this round to slip on its head. And man, that is really... That felt like a decent chance. It was basically a raw 4v2 on that site, and they just let it slip. That's seriously got to hurt.
Yeah, it's pretty disastrous. I just don't know rightly if things are clicking after that first map, you know, and as we've talked about, the mental, getting back into a matchup like this, it's going to be difficult for sure. They feel like they should have taken that first one, could have been a really different series. And now they're on their own map pick. Yeah, it's this whole map that we've talked about with PARIVISION and how good they're looking. But you would expect 9 Pandas to be able to bring a bit more competition here.
Exactly. Difficult to watch, honestly. This 9 Panda side just completely falling apart. And yeah, just super difficult. What can you even do, honestly? Well, a few nades thrown in. I want to just try and get a bomb down again to give themselves money. But they are playing for the win rather than playing for overtime. Seems pretty common. A lot of these teams, they just don't trust themselves to find consistency. They're going through the flames here, but they're going to have to fight their way through it. James gets 2. Oh, that's so good. So well done. Any sort of a spam here by Travis. Maybe not even needed. They're going to go to him. How has Crad won that? All right, fair play. And he gets a dink on towards another. Round's not in 9 Pandas' hands, but they've maybe given themselves a bit of a chance.
It is possible. The bomb is in a really weird spot right now, is kind of the only thing that we look towards here. Is he going to be able to make it round? Oh, that's awkward. Resol did have the drop. Maybe if he plays it a bit more patiently, could have come away with that kill. Not going to be the case. Shalfie will get the bomb plant here. If they play it right, though, it's a really tough 1 versus 3 for him. Belchonok, hello. Shalfie can't quite believe what he's looking at either, to be fair. He knows where 2 of them's at. That's a keen headshot. Smoke splits them up. Nota goes down. This is proper awkward now, and the Tech 9 to get it done. Shalfie will clutch up. That is a dire, dire mess from PARIVISION, though, you have to say. Still, he's played the parameters so well there.
Wow. All right. Well done. Very, very well done. That's sort of no right to be winning that, and he's made something stick out of nothing. That is seriously an impressive 1v3. I feel like they played that a little bit too brazenly, I want to say. But that choice to kind of buy in and go for it there and then is ended up being the right call. Very, very nice call. Well, well, well. That is a spicy one to win, and it might just give them, you know, at least a little bit of a lifeline. He'll take that. He'll take that indeed. PARIVISION, we can buy back in, sure, but might be left a little reeling. That was, yeah, it was an awkward one to let slip in that regard.
Yeah, for sure. I think they kind of had the, you know, victory line.
Yeah.
In their view, and just getting a little bit ahead of themselves. Trying to answer back with aggression into this one. Also, not really working out. So 9 Pandas will probably net another round and have bought themselves a lot of time to work with here. This will be the econ broken as well. So they will close the gap. PARIVISION, got to be careful they don't fall to their own medicine, I suppose. Kicker and Jame in the right place at the right time. However, the tags are massive. Kicker just can't quite get through a few too many members, of course. Still, it's good damage when they're on that comeback train. Just try and keep them as stressed as possible.
Yep. It'll help in sort of some regard, but little weird. Money broke of a PARIVISION. Got to take the step back now, and that'll definitely hurt to some regard. This is a side who, now Pandas felt like they were completely out of this, but 4 rounds is actually recoverable, no matter which way you put it. Could be spicy indeed. Could still be something here. I'm a tad worried. I'll put it that way. This round, of course, not expecting a lot. They've gamble stacked A, and unfortunately, Bomb's going B, so another gamble stack that's going to amount to really nothing.
Yeah, it is, again, a classic. The last time they went for a gamble stack, they were on the wrong bomb site as well, so...
It happens.
Yeah. It does, more often than you think. That's why you got to stack somewhere wacky, like Red Room or something.
Yeah,
you know?
and then you can quick rotate. Yeah.
Yeah. Or if someone comes, you're just getting that one kill. That's ultimately what you're after with a stack, is like, it'd be nice to get the entire team, but actually you just want 1 or 2 people that you can steal the weapon of.
Either way, this round, of course, we never expected to amount to all too much, and they're just going to try and go for a late pop in terms of denying any guns. It could be a little scrappy. They get 1, which is better than nothing. Anything at the end? No, it won't be the case, but you get 1. I don't think you're too upset in that spot. You weren't looking really or expecting anything. Come back into the buy. James gets the AWP out, dropped by a kicker. Rifle traded over. It's only Travis has to pick up into as a slightly lesser gun of a FAMAS, but honestly, for the most part, you're pretty good. Still, though, there is a little bit of an air of worry, I think, is the slight feeling.
Yeah. It is certainly there. This is dangerous. Very dangerous indeed.
Shot.
Honestly, if he meets anyone else, I think he wins, but because it's the AWP, he just gets clapped. So that is kind of unfortunate for him, but it's a risky position for sure.
Yeah, it happens, but tough one. Now down to 4. Of course, damage being dealt towards Alpha. The smoke to slow them down, and a re-smoke. There's actually slightly missed, so it kind of feels like a bit more of a lurk smoke, actually.
Ooh, yikes. Again, just kind of getting unlucky with their reads here.
They've gambled again. I mean, worst case, right, in this is that you just save and go in towards the next that similar sort of buy. It's tough, but it happens, right? And it means 4 guns. Belgium can get a drop over, but you are allowing 9 Pandas. They're in reach and distance. It's now a 2-round game, and PARIVISION have quite rapidly fallen quite quiet.
Yes, and this is it. This is when you start to get very worried about your own position.
Sure.
So I think that you get inside your own head a little bit. That might be part of the movement in this round, right? Gambling on that B side again. So they do just have to be careful. I don't think they've got a timeout left, so yeah, it is playing it by ear, and they seem to be the team of timeouts. They've turned things around a couple times with those timeouts. I'm ready to be wrong. I'm ready for them to call one right now as I'm talking about it, but I'm pretty sure they've used them all by now.
I know. I think you are right. Whoa, this is very, very interesting where we're at. A little tough, this predicament, that's for sure. still, though. Could be something in the brewing. I'm not going to count them out just yet. Swing in towards mid. Dilla does well. Nota gets caught. The flash plus him trying to escape through the smoke does end up working out for the best. Unfortunate, but credit where it's due on one side. You know, this is still a pretty spicy game, all things considered. Travis up close to the Svamas. They are now going towards B. There's two players here. Flash will bank over just to try and slow them down. Kicker avoids his. They might break open this smoke. I guess Dilla out first. Great open. The flash behind is great. But Kicker gets two. He should never have got away with that. He gets another with a pistol as well. Oh my god, how is this round falling on his head? It's just Alv and AK with it all to do. Smoke down in towards short, but now phase. Travis in towards cave. They can pop together. There's three players all in the same position. But he's actually been allowed to isolate. Oh my god, there was a moment there that it could have fallen flat, but Kicker has gone huge. Those 3 kills are everything.
Yeah, I mean, it is wild. You know, again, they're a little bit of like, why are we rolling through and bursting through that smoke? Is it necessarily needed? As you say, they tried to sort of break through it. It wasn't the cleanest break. PARIVISION actually did have a timeout left now. They've just gone and used it here. So they were holding it for a rainy day. And yeah, maybe this is where they hammer it home.
Yeah, it's actually really sort of awkward. You had a good chance and you had a world to make something of this, but it has slipped now. And map and series point as well. All expectations is that this should be locked in place. And a tough way for you to lose that control, right? It felt like it never really should have slipped. Brutal work, though. That's just how things can, unfortunately, happen for you.
All right, well, we'll see what 9 Pandas have got left in the tank. It has been a pretty tough series for them on the back foot for all of this map, it feels like. And that is a very, very harsh way to kick this one off. Nice shadow spot. Easy for Jame. Doesn't need to, overextend here. He knows that. That shot is so close, but doesn't quite land. Result leading what is left of 9 Pandas to try and get this going. He's now the only one that remains. A decent try to find 2, but there's just a few too many bodies to get through. 13-9, 2-0 in favor of PARIVISION, and a really, really clean finish, I suppose, for sure. But a difficult series. 9 Pandas gave them a good run, but they will be frustrated in and of themselves.